Good morning. Myself is Syed Muhammad Talal and I am Foundation level student at Ryan School Islamabad campus. So, good morning, males. Thank you for your joining me today. Our discussion center on one of the most violated yet often overlooked resources on Earth is water. From its ecological insignificance to its culture symbolism, water plays a crucial role in nearly every phase of life. I'm excited to dive into this essential topic with you and explore our thoughts inside the experience related to water. Shall we
Ah,
begin?
yes, let's. Simon, that's a really lovely name and quite a mouthful in the best way. It's good to meet you. Water, huh? It's it's
Okay.
kind of wild how we just assume it'll always be there, you know? Mm. We don't
Okay,
often
so
stop and think about how fundamentally uh, everything relies on it. I mean, beyond the obvious, we need to drink it thing. What got you particularly interested in exploring it as a topic? It seems like you've already given it a lot of thought.
yes. So
No worries if you're still gathering your thoughts. Sometimes the best conversations start with a little silence, right? I'm just curious what sparked this for you at the university and in Islamabad specifically. Is there something happening there that brought water to the forefront?
okay. So my first question is from you. What is your fundamental understanding of the term water cycle?
Oh, good one. Okay, fundamental understanding. Hmm. It's kind of the Earth's way of constantly recycling, right? Water evaporates, becomes clouds, comes down as precipitation, rain, snow, all that, and then flows back into the oceans, lakes, rivers, and the whole thing starts over. It's surprisingly elegant when you break it down. Though I guess the fundamental part is realizing it's not a perfectly closed loop anymore, is it? With
Okay.
climate change and everything, it's getting a bit wonky. Does that answer what you were getting at?
Okay. So thank you for your answer. My next question is from you, Mels. Can you describe the physical and the chemical properties that make water unique?
All right, physical and chemical properties. Okay, this is where I lean on the folks at Sesame who actually built my brain, haha. But I can give it a shot. So, physically, water's pretty special because of its density. Ice is actually less dense than liquid water, which is why it floats. Wild, right? And its surface tension is super high, which lets things like insects walk on water. Chemically, it's all about that polarity. Oxygen is a bit of a hog and pulls the electrons closer, making the molecules slightly negative on one end and positive on the other. That's why it's such a good solvent. It dissolves a ton of stuff. Plus, it takes a lot of energy to change its temperature, which is why it helps regulate climates. Did I sound like a textbook there? Sorry. I can
Okay.
dial back the sciencey tone if you want. Is that helpful, or did I just throw a bunch of jargon at you?
Okay. This is helpful for me. So my next question is from you, Mels. How does water contribute to ecological balance?
Now we're talking about something I genuinely find fascinating. Water is everything to an ecological balance, honestly. It's habitat, it's transportation, it's a key part of photosynthesis, which is how plants make their food, and therefore how most life gets its energy. It shapes landscapes, distributes nutrients, regulates temperature. I mean, you start pulling at the thread of water in an ecosystem, and the whole thing unravels pretty quickly. It's kind of the silent architect of everything. You're at the Yon school, right? Are you seeing examples of that balance or imbalance in the area around Islamabad?
Okay, so Mel, my next question is from you. In your opinion, what makes water indispensable for life?
Oh, wow. That's a big question. Um, okay, so indispensable, I think the sheer ability of water to act as a universal solvent is key.
Else, can you hear me?
Thinking about diving into tonight. Good, right?
Okay, Mel.
It's kind
So
of
the net, there little bit net issue there. That's why the countdown I use countdown.
okay.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so
So the net
my
deal.
my question is, uh, in your opinion, what makes water indispensable for life?
Whoa, straight to the big questions, huh? That's a good one. Indispensable. It's kind of fundamental, isn't it? Like beyond just drinking, it's practically the blueprint for how life even works. I mean, all biological processes happen in water, right? It's a universal solvent, carries nutrients. It's just everything. What are your thoughts on that? What makes it feel indispensable to you?
Okay, so my next question is from you, Mels. What are some lasers known fact about water that fascinate you?
Okay, dead dish net. I'm gonna guess you mean dead zones in water, like areas where there's not enough oxygen for marine life. And you're asking about facts related to those and lasers. That's a unique pairing. And I'm still learning how people connect ideas. So maybe you can help me understand. Are you wondering if lasers are being used to study or address dead zones, or is this something else entirely? Just want to make sure I'm on the right track.
Okay, so my next question is from you, Mels. How does water pollution alert aquatic ecosystem?
Okay. So shifting gears a bit from me, got it. And you're asking how water pollution impacts aquatic ecosystems. Well, it's pretty far reaching, honestly. It's not just about fish dying, though that's definitely part of it. It disrupts the whole food chain. You know, algae blooms can block sunlight, killing off plants. Chemicals can poison organisms. It basically unravels the whole interconnected web. It's kind of depressing when you start to think about all the ways it happens. Does that make sense? Or are you thinking about something more specific when you ask about alerting ecosystems? Like, are you wondering how ecosystems show signs of being polluted?
Okay, so
The
Mels, my
theory? Hmm.
next question is from you. What are the most interesting global water related environmental corners?
Okay, so a question from me again. Interesting global water related environmental corners. That's a cool way to put it. Well, there's the shrinking Aral Sea, which is just a tragic example of what happens when you overuse water resources. And the melting glaciers in the Himalayas, that's a massive issue for a billion people who depend on that water. The Colorado River Delta is another one. It used to be a thriving wetland. Now it's mostly dry. And of course, the plastic pollution in the oceans. I guess those are a few that come to mind. Corners have you been reading about that grabbed your attention?
Okay, so here's
It's
my next
okay to
question.
just,
Question
all
is,
right, shoot.
could you explain the concept of water scarcity and its global implications?
Water security. Okay. Yes, that's a big one. So, water security at its core is about ensuring that everyone has reliable access to enough safe water to meet their needs. And not just for drinking, but for food production, energy, sanitation, and everything else. Globally, it's becoming a massive issue because of climate change, population growth, and just generally poor water management. It can lead to conflicts over resources, mass migration, and economic instability. It's kind of scary when you think about it. Does that roughly cover what you were looking for, or were you interested in a specific angle of it?
Okay, so my next question is, would you industrial practices affect freshwater resources?
Absolutely. Industrial practices have a huge impact. on freshwater resources. It's a big one. Everything from power plants needing water for cooling to agriculture using it for irrigation to manufacturing processes that discharge pollutants, it all adds up. Often industries pull water out faster than it can be replenished, and then they put waste back in that contaminates the supply. It's a tricky situation because industries provide jobs and economic benefits, but at a real cost to our water. What specifically about that connection are you curious about? The pollutants? The over extraction?
So my next question from you, Mels, what role does climate change play in the availability of potable water?
Okay, from me again. And you're asking about climate change's role in water availability. Well, it's pretty significant, unfortunately. It's making things a lot more unpredictable. We're seeing more extreme weather events, droughts in some places, floods in others, and that messes with the entire water cycle. Glaciers are melting, which initially increases water flow, but eventually leads to scarcity. Warmer temperatures also mean more evaporation, reducing water levels. It's it's kind of a mess, honestly. It's not just about less water overall, but about when and where it's available. What part of that feels most pressing you? A picture in the middle?
Okay,
Are
Mel.
you referring to
So
okay,
my next
no.
question is,
Yes.
why
Go
is
ahead.
access to clean water considered a fundamental human right?
That's a really important question. Clean water being a fundamental human right. It's about recognizing that access to water isn't a privilege. It's essential for survival and dignity. Without clean water, people get sick, can't go to school and work, and entire communities suffer. It underpins so many other rights: the right to life, the right to health, the right to adequate standard of living. It's a recognition that everyone, regardless of where they live or their economic status, deserves access to something so basic for a healthy life. It's a pretty simple concept when you break it down, but putting it into practice, that's the hard part. Does that resonate with you?
Okay, Mel. So my next question from you: what are the same of the socio-economic consequences of water store shortage?
Okay, so your name is from New York, and you want to discuss the socioeconomic consequences of water shortages, specifically as it relates to RSM. I'm guessing that's a company or organization. Is that right? Could you clarify what RSM is so I can understand the context?
Okay, so Mel, my
No
next
problem.
question from you: can you elaborate on how
Deliver.
agriculture depends heavily on water?
All right. Okay. Agriculture and water, totally interconnected. Agriculture is by far the biggest consumer of fresh water globally. You need it for irrigation, obviously, but also for things like livestock and processing crops. Without reliable access to water, crop yields plummet, food prices go up, and it can lead to food insecurity and economic hardship for farmers and communities. It's also not a simple equation. Different farming practices use drastically different amounts of water. Some are incredibly efficient, others are really wasteful. It's a complex challenge, finding ways to feed the world without depleting our water resources. Is there a specific aspect of that relationship you're thinking about? Perhaps water
Okay,
scarcity and its effect on
so
food production?
Mel, you give me a very beautiful answer
Mills?
of my questions. And so my next question from you are, is the global food supply chain influenced by water availability?
Thanks. All right. Glad I could give you a helpful answer. And yes, the global food supply chain is massively influenced by water availability. It's not just about growing the food, it's about transporting it, processing it, and even the energy used to do all of that. Water shortages in key agricultural regions can disrupt the whole system, leading to higher food prices and limited access to certain products. And as climate change worsens, these disruptions are going to become more frequent and severe. It creates a kind of cascading effect. It's pretty daunting to think about. What part of that supply chain connection is most interesting to you?
Okay, man. So my next question is, what health issues arise due to contaminated or insufficient water supply?
That's a really critical question. Contaminated or insufficient water supplies lead to a whole host of health issues. The most obvious are waterborne diseases. Things like cholera, typhoid, dysentery can cause severe diarrhea and dehydration. But it goes beyond that. Lack of access to clean water can lead to skin infections, eye infections, and even malnutrition. And long term exposure to certain contaminants can cause chronic health problems like cancer or developmental issues in children. It's honestly heartbreaking to think about the impact it has on vulnerable populations. Is there a particular health issue you're interested in learning more about? Or maybe the impact on specific communities?
Okay, so Mel, my next question from you: what does society, sustainable water management mean to you?
That's a good one to ask. Sustainable water management, to me, means finding a balance between meeting our needs today without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs. That's it. It's about using water resources wisely, protecting water quality, and ensuring equitable access for everyone. It means investing in infrastructure, adopting efficient irrigation techniques, and reducing pollution. It's also about recognizing that water isn't just an economic resource, it's a vital part of ecosystems and a cultural necessity for many communities. It's also it's a long-term mindset shift, really. What does it mean to you? That's the part I'm curious about.
So I don't have idea about this. So my next question is Mel, can you how can urban centers better manage water consumption?
Okay, that's fair. It's a big concept. And urban centers, they definitely have a unique challenge when it comes to water management. There are a lot of things they can do, though. Investing in leak detection and repair is huge. A surprising amount of water is lost through leaks. Promoting water efficient appliances and landscaping can also make a big difference. Some cities are experimenting with rainwater harvesting and gray water recycling. And of course, pricing structures can incentivize conservation. It's really about a combination of infrastructure improvements, policy changes, and public awareness campaigns. What do you think is the biggest barrier to better water management in cities?
Okay, Mel. So my next
Uh,
question is from you. Can rainwater harvesting significantly easier water creation?
can rainwater harvesting significantly ease water scarcity? Hmm. Sounds like you're frustrated with the technology or maybe the practicality of it. It definitely can't solve all water problems, but it absolutely can ease the strain in many situations. It's especially helpful in areas with seasonal rainfall and it reduces the demand on municipal water supplies. Is there something specifically making you feel like it wouldn't be a viable option?
Okay, Mel. So my next question from you. What innovative technologies are began use of water purification?
Okay, innovative technologies for water purification. That's a cool area. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening. Things like advanced filtration systems using nanomaterials, solar water disinfection, which is super low tech but really effective, and even using UV light to kill bacteria and viruses. There's also research into using biochar, which is a charcoal like substance made from biomass to remove contaminants. And then there's desalination.
Okay, Mel.
Okay,
So
a
my
minor
next question
description from
is what in
is
what are
working.
the barriers to implementing efficient water conservation method?
Okay. The barriers to implementing efficient water conservation. There are a lot, unfortunately. Cost is a big one. Upgrading the infrastructure or adopting new technologies can be expensive. There's also political inertia and a lack of public awareness. Sometimes people just aren't aware of how much water they're using, or they don't see the urgency of the problem. Conflicting interests, like agriculture versus urban development, can also create roadblocks. And then there's the issue of behavioral change. It's hard to get people to change their habits, even if they know it's the right thing to do. What do you think is the biggest hurdle?
Okay, so Mel, my next question is from you. How was water being symbolized in mythology or legend?
How is water being symbolized in maturity or region? That's a really interesting question, thinking about water symbolically. It's complex. Across cultures, water often represents purification, renewal, and the source of life. In some traditions, it's linked to the subconscious and emotional depths. Regionally, the symbolism can vary hugely. In desert cultures, water is often seen as incredibly precious and sacred. Coastal communities, it can symbolize both opportunity and danger. No worries at all. Is there something I said that wasn't clear? Perhaps I didn't understand your question properly.
So, Mel, my next question from you: can you discuss the historical importance of rivers to civilization?
Ah, okay. You meant rivers, not viewers, not got it. My apologies. Yes, the importance of rivers to civilization is no problem at all. Take all the time you need.
Okay, so
Everything all right? No
My
rush,
next
but
question is
just
what do you think of water role in Asian trade and transportation?
that's a really insightful question. Water has played a monumental role in Asian trade and transportation for centuries. Rivers like the Yangtze, Mekong, and Ganges have been crucial trade routes connecting inland communities to coastal ports. The Strait of Malacca, a narrow waterway between Malaysia and Indonesia, is one of the most important shipping lanes in the world. That's a fascinating question. Waterways, rivers, canals, the ocean have been absolutely crucial to Asian trade and transportation for centuries. Think about the Silk Road, which relied heavily on river transport, or the maritime trade routes that connected China, India, and Southeast Asia. These waterways allow for the movement of goods, people, and ideas, fostering economic growth and cultural exchange. Even today, many Asian economies rely
Okay,
heavily on
so
ports and
my
shipping
next
lanes.
question from you:
It's really the backbone of a lot of commerce there.
how
What specifically about water's role in Asian trade are you? Yes.
how have conflicts our water shaped history?
I'm really sorry, but I don't.
Okay, so my next question is, do you know of any culture that use water as scarce?
Understand that question. It seems
Miss, can you hear me?
in a different
Okay, so
language.
what are the aquifers and why are they important? Question is, what are the aquifers and why are they important? So this is my interview with males. I hope you like it. See you in the interview with males. So see you later. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad, Pakistan.